What's going on, everybody? If you're watching this after I went live, shout out to you. I'm starting to go live every single Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. I ain't want to commit to it because of my schedule. I ain't want to. Oh, I left my door open. I ain't want to commit myself to something I can't do, but it looks like I've been able to do it. So I think I may be doing this all the time. Also, for some people out in the UK and as well as certain people who are across the world, this time works out better for them as opposed to my normal 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Wednesday show. So I may do both, in case for some that they're more night owls, and some for who like to wake up a little bit more early, and for my international fans as well, who this time works for it as well better. But guys, what do you guys think about this Jack Catterall Josh Taylor fight? I do like that Jack Catterall did come to the weigh-in a little bit aggressive. I don't like it's funny. Let me see if I can find that. He tried to choke Josh Taylor, but he kind of just put his hands on his neck and just kind of gave like a squeeze. He ain't really like squeeze and choke him. And Josh Taylor pushed him away. And Josh Taylor has a habit of being super aggressive at weigh-ins. And I remember, if you guys remember, when he fought Jose Ramirez, he got him. Ramirez's face was pushing him around and kind of really bullied Ramirez. And I once I saw that, I kind of knew, all right, you know, Josh Taylor's gonna beat Jose Ramirez. So if I have a fighter and he's fighting Josh Taylor, I'm telling him at the weigh-in, make sure you punk him, smack him, push him as hard as you can, do something to let him know he is not going to intimidate you. Uh, again, this is the second time I see it, and I remember after the fight with Jose Ramirez, he mentioned that he did that because he's like, "Oh, I only did that because I was trying to get him to get more aggressive, to fight out of his game plan and this and that." And I was like, okay, well, that's something he does. So we have to be wary of that anytime he fights. Anytime he fights, we have to be wary that he's going to try to get aggressive, try to, push and intimidate people. And I wouldn't allow that to happen. Listen, if I'm a fighter and I see you do that once or twice, I'm making sure at my weigh-in, I'm gonna be the one that's looking like you punking you, or we're gonna get into a fist fight where it's like, all right, nobody got punked, and they just had a fight. That's how it's gonna come. That's the type of energy I'm on. If I'm a fighter, or if I'm managing a fighter, if I'm managing a fighter, that's what I'm telling him as well. I'm like, yo, don't let this dude punk you, man. Don't let this dude punk you. Let him know we here to fight. Let him know he's here with a real man. He ain't real here with no bitch. But I'm excited for Josh Taylor. I don't think he gets the notoriety I think he deserves. I think he's he's in my top 5 pound for pound, and I think he's not getting this fight. I mean, to be fair, it does have to do with the opponent. Jack Catterall isn't exactly a known opponent, so for people to get excited and be talking about it all on social media, you would kind of need a better opponent. Like if he was fighting, let's say a Gary Antoine Russell, or who's still a prospect, but people are more familiar with, and people are high on. People are excited that think he's going to be a big prospect, or a rematch with Regis. I think more people will be talking about it and more excited for it. But I still think an undisputed fight should get attention. Like if you guys remember, Teofimo versus Kambosos. Some people want to argue it's for undisputed. Some people want to argue it's not. But whatever. Point is, it was more than three. It was more than 2 belts. Put it like that. That fight got a lot of attention. Part of it had to do with the whole purse bid and the fact that he's in the hottest division. But still, Kambosos is a pretty unknown fighter. And he fought, in the Madison Square Garden in the theater. And, it had a really good crowd there. I was actually there at that fight. So, that fight got a lot of attention. It was very active on social media. This fight, doesn't seem to have that kind of buzz. So maybe Teofimo is more popular than Josh Taylor. Oh, yeah, he's definitely. Well, I mean, he has more than 500,000 Instagram followers, so he's definitely more popular. That's what it is. Damn, man. Josh Taylor only has 227,000 followers on Instagram. This guy's an undisputed 140 pounder. That's right between 135, which some people consider the hottest division. I actually consider Josh Taylor to be in the hottest division. And then right under the big money division. That's historically welterweight has always been a big money division. And this guy's a relatively unknown amongst hardcore boxing fans. Dave Martinez, what's up, man? I was just talking. I was talking about you in general. I was saying that some of my subscribers like for me to go on at this time, so this is better for some of my West Coast people, some of my people from the UK, as well as my international subscribers. But yeah, I do this for you guys, man. I do this for you guys, the guys who this time works better for, so you want to be a part of the conversation. But yeah, that is pretty sad. That is sad that a great fighter like Josh Taylor. Let me screen share that, so yeah, I don't think I'm lying. Let me screen share. Yeah, look. Josh Taylor on Instagram only has 227,000 followers. To put in comparison, Teofimo, who's also promoted by Top Rank, so it's not like, Teofimo has 772,000. Devin Haney. Again, all these guys are similar weights. These are lightweights. 1.1 million. I'm not even going to show Tank and Ryan because that would be totally unfair. I wonder how much Regis Prograis has. Because, he beat Regis. And Regis is not a really known person here in America. All right. He has 100,000. But all right. I just think that where Josh Taylor is in terms of his status in the sport, again, he's number 5 pound for pound for me. For somebody to be number 1 pound for pound, number 5 pound for pound, and to not be that known, for his fight to be this Saturday and it not have that kind of buzz, it's a bit disappointing. Michael Blunt, little bro, what up, my brother? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. But yeah, I don't understand why Josh Taylor is not getting the recognition he deserves. He fought in the World Boxing Super Series, won that. And let's look at his resume. His resume is bananas, man. His resume, I don't know when was the last time he fought a fighter who wasn't undefeated. Let me show you guys. Because this guy is talented, man. Anybody who knows, and he's entertaining. He's not like he's a southpaw who just out there out boxing and dancing. And no. He's not that kind of fighter. Look. So Josh Taylor, look, first of all, he's fighting an undefeated fighter in Jack Catterall. So that's one. He's 26-0. Jose Ramirez, 26-0. Kang Sang, who was his mandatory, 16-0. Regis Prograis, 24-0. Ivan Baranchek, 19-0. Ryan Martin, 22-0. Victor Posto, 29-1. This guy's last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then with Catterall 6. This guy's last 6 opponents will have be undefeated. And he has all the belts, lineal, undisputed. And the guy has 200 and something thousand followers. And the UK is known for having knowledgeable boxing fans. And how many people live in Scotland? And he's the first undisputed Scottish fighter since Ken Buchanan in the 70s. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. The guy, and he's entertaining in the weigh-ins. He comes out to fight. Like he comes out to press the dude, and he in the ring he's entertaining. Let's see the population of Scotland. Hold on. The fuck? I misspelled Scotland, and I'm wondering what's going on. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Scotland. Hold on. Damn, my bad. My computer fucking bugging out. Yeah, it has over 5 million people. And then when you add into the fact that, like he's Scottish, but he's known in the UK, like as far as he's known across London and Ireland. He's known across all these countries. Oh, hold on, Ari. I see you want to hop in. Hold on, let me answer these questions real quick. Josh Taylor just got a WBO super belt. He can now move up and challenge Terrence Crawford for the WBO mandatory. No, yes, I did read that. So what Michael Blunt is saying, so Josh Taylor has been elevated to the WBO super champion, and they're not doing the same bullshit that the WBA be doing. What they doing is, since they're making him the WBO Superman champion, what that means is that whenever he moves up to welterweight, he's automatically the mandatory for whoever's holding the WBO strap at the welterweight division. Now, if you're asking who has the WBO belt in the welterweight division, that's Terrence Crawford. And Josh Taylor in the past has said that he's willing and ready to fight Terrence Crawford at any moment. I would love that fight. That's two offensive fighters. I know Terrence Crawford switches southpaw and righty, but he's really more southpaw. So it's two southpaws fighting each other. And it's two top 5 pound for pound fighters. I love that fight. And that's actually a move that the WBO made that I actually do agree with. And I don't mind it. I like it. Especially since the WBO Super they're not doing what the WBA doing with the WBA regular, WBA Super. They're not doing that. They just meaning you accomplish something so great at the 140 division. As soon as you move up to 147, you're eligible to fight the champion at that weight. Josh Taylor opponents have all. I already talked about that. That is an impressive resume. I would follow him, but I don't know how to use Instagram. No, that's fine. Yeah, no, but still, I just want to create awareness, man. Like this dude is nice. Taylor needs to move up to welterweight for clout. I listen. What's ironic is that Terrence Crawford is actually not that popular of a fighter, so he moves up and beats Crawford. Hypothetically speaking, that's not my pick. It's not necessarily I'm not saying that is or isn't my pick. I'm just saying hypothetically speaking, he beats Crawford. That's not a person who is super popular. It wouldn't be like beating Errol Spence. This guy, Terrence Crawford, has never sold more than 200,000 pay-per-views. So, yeah, it's crazy how underrated Josh Taylor is, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. People, when I say he's top 5 pound for pound, people go, "Oh my God, how could you say he's top 5?" I'm like, okay, show me his resume. His last 6 opponent after Jack Catterall, let's say he beats Catterall, will all have been undefeated. And then the one right before that streak happened, the guy had 1 loss, and it was Victor Posto. And that 1 loss was to Terrence Crawford. You see what I'm saying? Josh Taylor is that dude, man. Josh Taylor is that dude. Yeah, he got a little funny accent, and he's from the UK, and maybe you're not familiar with him because of this, because of that. But as long as you know the motherfucking can fight, shit, put some respect on that man. Hold on 1 second. Let's see what's going on boxing scene, man. Yo, all that shit happening in the Ukraine, man. I'm gonna make a lot of videos on the Ukraine regarding how it affects certain boxers. So hopefully everything goes well over there. That's the last thing I want to hear about is like, people dying. It's funny. I had mad of my friends DMing me. Oh, look, the Klitschko's joined the army to defend their country in the Ukraine and this. I'm like, bro, I made a video on that 2 weeks ago, man. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all motherfuckers just catching up. I've been on that. And everybody here watching is pretty well loyal subscribers. Y'all know damn well I've been on that. And I put a lot of people on. So, motherfuckers need to support. Motherfuckers need to watch. If you're a friend, watch every video, especially if you're a boxing fan. But by the way, I'm rooting for Victor Posto. He fights Gary Antoine Russell this Saturday. He's fighting Gary Antoine Russell this Saturday, and I was rooting for Gary Antoine Russell, to be honest. But until all this Ukraine shit, Victor Posto still has his family. He has his wife and his kids in the Ukraine. He is out in America training to fight. And I know he's a bit older, but I'm rooting for him to win, man. He deserves that win. I hope he wins. I really do. I really do. Oh, I already put that. But Taylor doesn't have that many American fans. He needs to be a top American like Spence Davis or Teofimo. Yeah. Yeah, especially Teofimo, because Teofimo is somebody who talks a lot of trash. Somebody who you're not punking at the weigh-in the same way Josh Taylor just punked Catterall, basically, and how he definitely punked Jose Ramirez. That's not happening. So that definitely would create a whole thing. Spence for sure, but that's PBC. And Tank Davis, that's also PBC. Those are unrealistic fights. And I know we don't like that dynamic of the sport, but that's what it is. And Ari, I'm gonna put the link up in a bit. I just want to cook a little bit by myself, and then I'm gonna put the link, and then anybody can join, including yourself. So give me a sec, Ari. I was so scared when I first heard that and watched your video, bro. And now I'm even more scared because I saw the video of Vitaly actually in the field training to go to war. Prayers to him and everyone. Yeah, man. I honestly, when I made the video 2 weeks ago, it was Vladimir who joined the army, and I knew Vitaly. He's the mayor of Kiev, which I didn't fucking know until this. And I didn't expect the mayor in Vitaly to also join the army, and he did, man. Yo, that's a real man. You're a man when you fucking join the army. When your country's getting invaded and you a millionaire, you a Hall of Famer, you could easily just hop on a plane, move to Germany where they did a lot of their fights, move to America where they did a lot of their fights, move to the UK where there's a big boxing fan base. They both could have easily done that. But no, they chose to stay in their country and defend it. That's some fucking man shit. Man shit. And I got a lot of respect for the Klitschko's, man. And luckily I have a YouTube page then. I hated a lot on Vladimir. Vitaly I ain't hate so much on because I found him be a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more meaner. He was there to get you out of there and knock you out. And boy, did he get some knockouts. But yeah, I got a lot of respect for him. Vladimir went, represented his country, won a gold medal representing his country, became a Hall of Famer in the ring. All his fights came out representing Ukraine, became a fucking fantastic heavyweight champion. Whether it was boring or not, he became a good. I'll never say he wasn't great. He was a great heavyweight champion. It's just he was born, so I wasn't a fan of him. So he became a great heavyweight. Not only did he represent his country in the Olympics, one gold, great heavyweight champion, always representing his flag, and now he's fucking going to war because another country's invaded him. Knowing this dude made hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds. Maybe not hundreds, but definitely more than 100 million. You gotta remember, heavyweight division is big money. That Dave Hay fight, that was for big money. That Tyson Fury fight, I'm assuming, was for big money. The AJ fight for sure was for big money. And that's not including all those fights he had, whether it be with the 2 fights with Sam Peter, the Corey Sanders fight, Layman Brewster, all those fights. He definitely made more than 2-3 million, at least. And a lot of those fights he made over 10 because he was the heavyweight champion. So I got a lot of respect for that, man. I got a lot of respect for Vladimir and Vitaly. Facts. Them heavyweights make so much money. All respect to the Klitschko brothers. Real men right there. Real men right there. Yeah. No, I agree. That's a fucking man, bro. A lot of motherfuckers would have, hey, man, these dudes invading. I got all this money. Oh, no, I was already planning to move to Vegas. I was already planning to move to Berlin and Germany. That's why I moved. And hopefully all my friends and family in Ukraine are good. A lot of people would have done that. And I'm not even going to say that I wouldn't have. I'm just being honest. I could say now, oh, yeah, I would have done that. I could say that now because I'm not going through it. This motherfucker's going through it, and he's showing improving. Vitaly there with the army suit, with the helmet. Yo, I got respect for those guys. But yeah, I'm rooting for Victor Posto, man. I'm rooting for Victor Posto this Saturday against Gary Antoine Russell. And how could you not, man? How could you not? The man got his family out there, man. The man has his family. He has his wife and kids in the Ukraine, and he's out here training. I hope that doesn't affect him mentally. I hope that does him good. Like, he gets a little extra motivation. Like, if you guys remember, Buster Douglas had lost his mother right before the Mike Tyson fight. A lot of people are like, oh man, his head's not going to be into it. And he claims that actually motivated him even more to train harder and to fight harder. And look, he got the biggest upset in boxing history. So is it unfathomable that, Victor Posto, this makes him focus a little bit harder because he knows he has to sacrifice more, and he ends up beating Gary Antoine Russell? Because Gary Antoine Russell, I'm high on him, but he does get caught in exchanges. He does leave out little openings, so he's not as good defensively as Gary Russell, the 126 pounder. So yeah, like I don't know. By the way, when's that win? Did that win happen? That win? Because I would love to stream about it if it hasn't, if it's coming up. All right. Oh, by the way, Tyson Fury, this was announced 15 minutes ago. Tyson Fury versus Dillian White officially announced for Wembley Stadium, April 23rd. So for all you Fury fans, April 23rd, mark that day in your calendar. He will be fighting Dillian White. And but yeah. What fight you most excited about this weekend? I mean, that Victor Posto fight, and I know that's a curveball. I know a lot of people will be like, "What the fuck? Like, why are you excited for Victor Posto versus Gary Antoine Russell? That's an undercard fight." But yo, the storyline to it, when you add that Victor Posto is fighting for his country and his wife and kids, or in the Ukraine, how could you not root for that guy, man? I'm really excited to see, and it would be a great story if it does happen. He beats an undefeated American prospect who beat Boots, I believe 2 times in the amateurs. That'd be an impressive win. It'll be the biggest win in his career. I mean, I guess you could say the Matisse fight, but honestly, I think Matisse was a little bit washed by that fight, by that time. But all right, Ari, I know you were waiting. I'm gonna add the link. I'm gonna pin it to the top of the chat for anybody who wants to call in. And today I want to do something a little bit different. I want to do something like I know Michael Blunt been on the Twitter Spaces. I want to do something like the Twitter Spaces. Anybody who wants to join in, we could have 4, 5, 7, 10 people talking. We could discuss some boxing. I'm gonna put it to the top of the chat right now. Just give me 1 second. So even if somebody's on the call, you don't have to wait your turn. Just call in, and we could just have a full-on boxing conversation between 2, 3 of us. But yeah, that Buster Douglas fight broke my heart, bro. I wasn't. It's funny, that fight happened before I was born, but I'm from Brooklyn and I got Mike Tyson behind me, so just reading about the story or watching documentaries, it almost pisses me off that Mike Tyson lost to fucking Buster Douglas, especially with how undedicated Buster Douglas was. You would think that would have motivated him to, fight harder, to be a better fighter, but no. The guy fucking blew the fuck up, got fat, then got knocked out by Evander Holyfield immediately in his next fight. I don't understand what Buster Douglas' frame of mind was, but after you become champion, that should be a wake-up call. Like, oh no, that's how I train. That's how I fight. Let me be great. Let me not just be known for having the biggest upset and that's it, and then get knocked out in my next fight. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, that Buster Douglas shit, that I can see how that breaks your heart, though, especially if you put money on it. Those odds were bananas. I believe it was 42-1. By the way, Ryan, this just got announced 9 minutes ago. You guys are getting breaking. 3 minutes ago, actually. Breaking news: Ryan Garcia versus Emmanuel Tagoe is official April 9th at the Alamo Dome. It is signed, sealed, and delivered. Yeah. By the way, I didn't mention this. Josh Taylor, and Jack Catterall both made weight. So no controversy there. By the way, the link is already pinned to the top of the chat. I don't know if you guys were waiting for that. I know Ari was. I guess he hopped off. Yeah, you guys can call in and we can have a boxing conversation. By the way, I saw a little bit of Hector Garcia, the guy Chris Colbert is going to fight. Hector Garcia, the Dominican. Man, this dude, he's not as good as advertised, man. Because I never seen this guy, to be honest. I saw his last fight. Was it his last fight? The one against Avila? And I ain't like what I saw, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I ain't like what I saw. And you know, he's Dominican, so, but Colbert's from Brooklyn. I'm kind of conflicted as to who to root for, man. Like, those are both, you know, I always root for my Dominicans and I always root for my Brooklyn fighters or New York fighters. Like, for guys from the Bronx or Queens, I also root for him. But yeah, I ain't like what I saw. I ain't like what I saw. And to be fair to Garcia, Avalon isn't a bum. Avalon actually is a decent fighter, but he did get dropped. But I felt like he got caught with a lot of unnecessary shots. And with somebody as quick and as fast as Colbert, somebody who could catch you in between punches. Luckily for Garcia, Colbert's not that big of a puncher necessarily. So if his chin is solid, maybe he can, you know, walk through those punches and maybe score a knockout, because he has a lot of knockouts. If I'm not mistaken, he's 14-0 with 10 knockouts. So that's a 58.82 knockout percentage. That's actually a good knockout ratio. But damn, he's 30 years old. That can either be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a good thing in the sense like, all right, he already got his man strength. Or it could be like, you know, this motherfucker, oh. Look, I'm looking at his box rec pick. Let me show you his box rec pick. He already balding and shit. I don't know. It may not go good for him, man. It may not go good for him. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all his box rec pick. Yeah. My man bald and my man got the Willie way back over here. Man, this dude ain't beating Colbert, man. This dude washed, man. This dude 39, man. He lied on his birth certificate, man. My fellow Mexican Colbert about to get this dub. Yo, a lot of people are mad that he be claiming the Mexican shit, but like, if you're from the New York area, you know that his trainer Sosa has been with him since the beginning, and he's always called his trainer dad or pops, or he even refers to him like, oh yeah, me and my father, me and my dad, me and my, you know. So it's not like this dude is hopping on the bandwagon, kind of like how Mayweather came out with the Mexican, you know, sombrero and the colors when he fought Oscar, or who else did that? You know, Tyson Fury did that when he fought in Vegas. You know, so it's a lot of people who just jump on the bandwagon. I don't want to say he's that, because again, he really was raised by a Mexican person who he considered his father. So I'm not going to give him too much trouble about it. Yeah, man, I gotta roast him, man. I gotta. Yo, my man had the Willie way back, man. His shit fading from the back. I never seen that one. I seen people fade from here. His shit fading from here. Like, damn. I remember seeing Sosa and Chris Colbert in the documentary Counterpunch on Netflix. Yeah, I remember seeing that too. But I'm not even referencing that because, again, I do be in the amateur scene here in New York every now and then. So I've seen Chris Colbert since he was like 12, 10, you know, since he was literally a little boy. And his trainer was Sosa, and he was calling him dad. And people would be like, oh, you know, like that little kid, you know, oh, I used to see him running around. And he, you know, his trainer really looked out for him. So I'm not going to get mad if somebody goes, yo, this Mexican man basically raised me. I literally call him dad, literally call him pops. And I want to claim a little bit his Mexican thing. You know, like I'm not gonna get mad at that. I'm not gonna look at it as pandering. Like that's what people are trying to make it seem like. Oh, he's pandering. Nah, man, that's his pops. I don't give a fuck. Oh no, that's not his biological father. That's who he considers his pops. That's all I need. That's all I need. A lot of us, don't have a father. Luckily, I do, but I'm just saying, a lot of people from the hood don't have a father, and we get raised by somebody who either end up marrying your mother or the dude across the street who end up, took care of you, taught you things. This guy taught him how to fight. This dude's making a good living now fighting boxing. Been with you from the start. I don't think it's pandering. I think it's just him honoring his father. You know what I'm saying? People weird if they mad at that. A young black man just needed a father figure in his life, and he got one. Good for Chris Colbert. Yeah, I'll be on those Twitter spaces, as you know, Michael Blunt. And yo, some dudes are trying to talk shit about it. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Like, yo, the dude really raised him. Like, there's a fucking documentary to prove it. I've seen him with each other for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't an act. That he really, like, if Chris Colbert retired, he would still have a relationship with Sosa. You can't say the same for a lot of, you think if, I don't know, fucking, Alfredo Angulo used to train with Virgil Hunter. You think they still have a relationship? No, it's different. It's a different, totally different dynamic. Totally different dynamic. But yeah, I want to see what. Yo, by the way, I'm fuck. I know this is random, but I'm fucking pissed off that the Castano Charlo rematch not happening, man. I really am. I was really looking forward to that fight. The first fight was entertaining. It was close. It was controversial. It's for undisputed. It had everything going for it to be a great fight as far as the storyline as well as in the ring. But unfortunately, that's fucking, he hurt his bicep, and then he's gonna still try to fight. Now the WBO and the IBF are trying to enforce their mandatories on them. And it's like, come on. But you know what? You know why this happens? Because motherfuckers only want to fight once or twice a year. Everybody wants to be Mayweather. Or fight once or twice a year. When fucking Mike Tyson was fighting 5, 6, 7 times a year. Same thing with Sugar Ray Leonard. These dudes were active, man. And that's why boxing isn't as popular, because if a motherfucker fight on June, you're like, wow, I can't wait to see him fight again. And then the next time he fight is April of next year. You're like, what's that guy's name again? Yeah, I remember I seen him. He was good. As opposed to he fought in June, then fought again in September, then fought again in January. You get it. You build a relationship with the fighter and you become a fan. Not every fight has to be a tough fight, but you could get your mandatories out your way. You could get the tune-ups. You can move up in weight and try out a weight division to see if you feel strong at that weight. There's a lot of things you can do in between big fights, but these motherfuckers, they only want to fight once or twice a year. They're getting big money though. They're getting big money, so a lot of these fighters, they get that first paycheck and they go, hold on, I've been training for 15 years. I want to enjoy my money, man. I want to go out. I want to party. I want to do this. And it's like, yo, yeah, y'all motherfuckers don't want legacy. Y'all motherfuckers don't want to be one of the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? You start doing that one fight a year, 2 fight a year when you 35. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, you already made your money. You want to pick and choose who you're going to fight. So you don't need to fight every single, quarter or something like that. But that's why I like what Canelo did. He went undisputed in 11 months. He fought, I believe it was, hold on. Let me get it for you right now. How Canelo did it. Because Canelo, he fought a lot this way. Right now he's taking a break, which is well deserved. He fought Callum Smith 2020 in December 2020. Then fought Yildirim in February of 2021. Then Billy Joe Saunders in May of 2021. And then Caleb Plant in November of 2021. So that's 4 fights in 11 months. If Canelo could do it, you can. I'm about to make that a shirt. If Canelo could do it, you can. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to be the best. He's number 1 pound for pound, right? Y'all want to be number 1 pound for pound? Do what that motherfucker's doing. Me too, man. Tim Tszyu is on PBC now, which is very interesting. I think he's fighting Terrell Gausha. He was supposed to fight Terrell Gausha on the undercard of Charlo Castano because they were trying to build up for Tim Tszyu to fight the winner. But now with this whole delay, he wants to fight now immediately for Castano. The IBF is already going to enforce mandatory. I made a video about this. The IBF is already enforced their mandatory. The WBC's having a fight between Lubin and Erickson Lubin and Fanfora for the WBC mandatory. So once they fight, they're going to want to be enforced. And the WBA, I believe, is Madrimov, is also ready to be enforced. So it's like these delays have caused a trickle-down effect on the potential of the undisputed fight. And part of the delays is the inactivity. Had these guys fought a little bit more often, they could have gotten a fight. Hold on one second, guys. Thirsty. You said it. These men nowadays only want to fight one time a year. It's crazy. Not only that, the undercards nowadays aren't worth a crap. I mean, to be fair, and y'all know I be on their ass when it comes to them undercard fights. To be fair, PBC actually tries. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always work, but PBC actually tries to give you a fucking good undercard. Like the Errol Spence fight. They got Francisco Vargas, who's a little bit older, but he's a very entertaining fighter. He's fighting Jose Valenzuela, an up-and-coming prospect who's an offensive fighter. So that fight, you're going to get some action out of it. They also have Butiev versus Stanionis, two offensive fighters. They're fighting to become the mandatory for the WBA title, which is going to be on the line in the main event. That's going to be a good fight. Isaac Cruz versus Gamboa. Y'all know I'm not going to condone that bullshit. That's a bullshit fight. But the other two fights on the undercard are decent. Also, the Keith Thurman fight that just happened, that pay-per-view, which I don't agree with. I was on pay-per-view, but the undercard was all right with Lucas Santamaria, Abel Ramos. Who else they had? I can't name off the top of my head, but I remember being satisfied with that undercard. But Top Rank, their pay-per-views, that Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter undercard was garbage, bro. They had Endom on it. Endom when he fought Janibek. I don't have a problem with Janibek being on the undercard, but Endom, oh my god. Like yes. But yeah, no. But to compare the undercards now to back then, fuck no. The Don King used to have Felix Trinidad, Julio Cesar Chavez on the undercard of a Mike Tyson fight. Like, yo, those undercards back then in the 80s and 90s were fire. PBC guys just running a train. Yeah, this dude David Vedra stay cracking me up. PBC guys just running a train on Gamboa, man. It's sad as fuck. Nobody wanted the smoke with a prime Gamboa. I won't say nobody wanted to smoke. Now that part's not true, but it is true, man. Yo, like, how the fuck is commissions allowing Gamboa to fight at this point? Yo, Gamboa's been through some knockouts. He's been dropped like 1,000 times. None by Devin Haney, by the way, but he's been dropped 1,000 times. Like, yo, the dude is not. He's done. He's done. He's never ever gonna be what we thought he was. Never in life. And I feel bad for Gamboa. I mean, he's making a living, and I'm not going to knock a man's hustle, but goddamn, on a pay-per-view undercard, that guy shouldn't be there. PBC should have put Rayo Valenzuela versus Isaac Cruz. I don't care if they're both 23. Put those young guns together now. I don't know. I mean, hey, yeah. I mean, I think Rayo needs a little bit more. Like, he's going through the proper ways of moving up. That's a good step up. Him and what's his name? Francisco Valenzuela. Gamboa has been dropped more than all the heavyweights combined. Facts. All right, I got a caller. My guy, you guys are familiar with him. Ari Pelo Mio. What's up?
Dime a ver, what's good, man?
Chilling. ¿Qué lo que?
Aquí tranquilo. I was driving earlier. I was listening, but I was driving and I had my daughter in the car.
Now,
so like,
man.
Huh?
You driving now?
No, I know, but I had my daughter in the car before, so I don't like to, when I have her in the car, I had to drop her off a day, so I wasn't I don't like doing anything when she's in the car. How's
I get
everything
it. I
going,
get
man?
it. I'm doing good, man. What you think? What you think of this fight this week? Well, the fights this weekend. Posto,
Um,
Russell, Colbert, Garcia, and Catterall, Taylor.
I'm really excited for that Showtime card. Um,
I
I'm
agree.
looking forward to the Gary Antoine versus Posto. I think this is a fight that Gary Antoine is gonna make a statement. I know I heard you talking about everything that Posto is going through. His family being in Ukraine and everything going on over there. Um, I just think that talent wise, Gary Antoine is special.
I
And I think we're gonna see him put like a great performance. And I think Posto is a great opponent to do that, because obviously we've seen how good Posto is, and he's only lost to fucking high quality fighters. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's gonna be a
Listen
good
to
fight.
his losses are Terrence Crawford, Josh Taylor, and Jose Ramirez, and a lot of people felt he beat Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, that was a very close fight. That was a very close fight. But yeah, I mean, listen, he lost to Terrence Crawford, who's a top 5 pound for pound, like you said, and Josh Taylor, another top 5 pound for pound guy. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
no,
and,
I
and like
agree.
yeah, the Jose Ramirez was a close fight. So yeah, I mean, he's also top guys, but I just think that honestly, this is something that I heard on the space. Somebody was saying it. I think he's tailor made for Gary Antoine, and I think Gary Antoine's gonna make a statement.
Yeah, he's also 38. His last fight was in uh, August 2020, so it's been quite a while. So when these older guys are coming off long layoffs, it's hard for me to pick them. But I'm rooting for him, man. The guy, I read an article how he was saying how his wife and his kids are still in the Ukraine, and that it's a it's a dangerous situation out there. And just for the storyline of it, because even if Gary loses, it won't be that bad of a mark on his record. He's still a young guy; he still could come back for it. I'm going strictly on emotional
Yeah.
reason. I'm
If
rooting
if
for.
you lose me for a second, because I'm driving through this patch that I always lose service. So if you lose me for a minute, that's what it is. But I'll definitely, I'm here.
No problem. My little bro Michael Blunt says, "Tell Ari drive safe though, man." As I say that, I lose him.
Yeah, we had a freaking ice storm. Where the car was
I
freaking.
know. I know.
Car was.
I almost was late on the live. We for the guys who don't live in New York, there's like snow and ice and rain coming down. And I went to earlier in the morning to go to the barber shop. I was almost on late for uh for uh for the live. Luckily I made it on time. But yeah. Looks like my man Ari's having some connection problems. But yeah, man, I'm rooting for Victor Posto, man. Victor Posto again. How could you not have some kind of sympathy if you were a person you know that has empathy? How could you not feel somewhat bad about the situation he's going through in his family, his country, all that shit? By the way, let me show y'all the pictures. Hold on one second. Let me show y'all. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Ari. Uh, Let me screen share. Let me show y'all the pictures from the weigh-in of um, Josh Taylor. This shit look crazy. So first, because I can't show the video, I don't want to get taken down. I wish I could show the video, so I just got to show y'all the pictures. Look at this, them forehead to forehead. In Brooklyn, you don't do that shit because you get your jaw cracked. You go forehead to forehead on somebody that you got beef with. If you in Brooklyn, never do some shit like that. You get your jaw cracked. So again, this is the same picture. But then look at Josh Taylor choking the shit out of Catterall. God damn, that nigga checking his tonsils. Like, yo, you good, bro? Gargle. Yeah, this is them breaking him up. You know, Catterall pointing at him like, yo, you about to die. And Josh Taylor don't look weight drained. So I think he's just a natural 140 pounder. All right, Ari's back. Hold on, Ari. Let me just finish showing the pictures and I'll get you back on. Yeah, Josh Taylor, he don't look weight drained at all. I mean, people may say he look pasty and white, but I think that's just how he is. I mean, it ain't from the weight drain. But look, he looks good to me. Catterall looks good as well. So neither fighter looks weight drained. Damn, all those belts looks crazy. And look, and that's the super belt that they were saying, the WBO super. That as soon as he moves up in weight, he's eligible to challenge whoever has the WBO welterweight title, which I appreciate. That's a dope designation. I like it. All right, Ari, we got you back.
I'm back. Yeah, you know what it is? Every time through my job, there's always this patch where I always lose service. There's no towers around this area, so. But yeah, man, no, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this week, and I'm excited for these fights. I didn't see a lot of you. I know you spoke about it a little bit of Hector Garcia. I haven't seen a lot of him. I saw a little bit of his last fight, so I have to go back, and I'm actually gonna watch some of it. Probably tomorrow during the day or whatever.
I saw his fight against Isaac Avalar, a guy who is a common opponent with what's his name, with Stephen Fulton. So it was a smaller guy. He got dropped in the first round. I was like, I don't know. He ended up coming back.
I saw that.
He ended up coming back to win a decision, and it was a legit decision. It wasn't no bullshit. But I'm like, if you have a 122 pounder that moved up in weight and dropped you, I don't know what is Chris Colbert gonna do. I mean, Chris Colbert is not a big puncher, but he does have fast hands.
Yeah, Chris Colbert is very slick. He's very slick. He's quick. He's flamboyant. I like Chris Colbert. I like his style. I think he's fun to watch. Yeah. I actually met him before he was known. I was actually at the Crawford versus Felix Diaz fight at the Garden, and he was there, and I just met him. I was like, oh, whatever. He was cool. So I think he's, like I said, me. I'm Dominican. I root for my Dominicans, but I'm realistic when it comes to these things. I got to see more of Hector. I got to see more of him, and then I'll see what's up. But yeah, I'm excited for those fights. And yeah, man, you were just talking about Josh Taylor. Yo, Josh Taylor is a real one, bro. Out of all those UK fighters, he's it right there. He's the one. He's the one that's in my opinion, he's the best fighter out of the UK.
Yo, his last 6 opponent have a total of 1 loss, and then he's fighting also an undefeated fighter. This dude's resume is crazy, man. He hasn't ducked nobody. Went through that fucking tournament, beat Regis, beat all them fucking guys. He has a legit, undisputed run at 140. Like you were just saying, his resume is on fire. There's no bullshit opponents. And yeah, he's willing to fight anybody. I like him. I think he's a real one. Something that you had mentioned before with the super belt for the WBO, people don't realize people do realize, but he's managed by MTK, right? He's an MTK fighter. Now Terrence Crawford signed an advisory deal with Daniel Kinahan, right? So they're lining up that fight, and people don't see it. It's like they're lining up that fight. They're gonna make that fight happen. The only thing is, you think Bob is really gonna pay Terrence Crawford when the motherfucker's suing him?
It's not gonna be up to Bob though. It's not gonna be up to his MTK. You get what I'm saying? They don't have to go if they make that fight. If they make that fight in the Middle East, or they make it somewhere over there in the UK or whatever.
I hope not, because who the fuck is gonna televise? MTK don't got to deal with no network. Right now, the 2 biggest players is Showtime and ESPN. The Zone, man. Honestly, I'm not a fan of this fucking The Zone shit, man.
The Zone is trash, bro.
It's trash. Yo, they scamming me, man. They need to give me back $100. It is trash.
They got you, bro. That's why I never signed up. Look, when they were like all that 1 year, I never signed up for that shit because it's like, yo, I started seeing their lineup and it's like, I'm not paying you motherfuckers.
Their lineup used to be good when they had Canelo, they had Joshua, they had who else they had? They had Daniel Jacobs, Triple G. Like they had a good fucking lineup at one point, and that's when I bought it. And now I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
I never signed up.
I
never signed up for the yearly subscription. So see, this is what I didn't like what they did, right? They came into the market, they said, $10 a month, whatever. I was like, cool, that's fair. $10 a month, not bad. So I signed up.
Upping it and upping it.
And then what they did was they did that bait and switch, right? Where they now we're gonna raise it to 20. Now for me, because I was grandfathered in, they kept me at $10 a month for a whole year, right? So I kept that for the whole year. But then once that year was up, that they started charging $20 a month, I just started doing monthly by month. Whenever, for example, if I saw there was a fight I wanted to see, I'll sign up for it. If I don't really care for any other cards going on, I don't pay for it. Golden Boy has been putting on decent cards. I feel like Golden Boy has put on decent cards. Eddie Hearn is the one to be putting on some bullshit.
Yeah, the thing is with Eddie Hearn is I don't want to even shit on Eddie Hearn like that because he tries to make the fights. It's just he just doesn't have the horses, man. You don't think if he had Teofimo and Devin Haney, that fight wouldn't have gotten made? You don't think if he had, Canelo and Triple G under Matchroom, he wouldn't have made that? Like, there's a lot of fights that didn't get made.
Yeah, but he could have made. He could look. He got all right. So
I know you're gonna bring up Andrade and Triple G, but he doesn't have Triple G.
But that fight should have. Okay,
Triple G's not his fighter.
Triple G is working with him though. Triple G's working with him.
No, but you could be working with somebody, but not be under you. Andrade is under him. Andrade is a Matchroom USA fighter. Devin Haney is a Matchroom USA fighter. It just seems like
he hasn't been able to deliver. He hasn't been able to deliver fight for Andrade, and he's not delivering fights for Devin Haney, right? So he's getting guys like Liam Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, these guys Canelo fights. But what, you can't get Andre that fight? Come on, man. And he has a good working relationship with Canelo.
Andre against who?
Canelo.
No, Canelo said you'll never get the fight. You never get the fight.
And Eddie Hearn as his promoter is sitting next to Canelo laughing. That's some bullshit.
No, he was just saying like, yo, Demetrius, like, hold on.
Nah, he was laughing at one point. He was laughing. Laughing.
Listen, Canelo right now, he's I don't have a problem with him doing that. If he don't like a motherfucker, he don't want to give a motherfucker a payday. I understand. He's like, yo, you come into my press conference disrespecting me, and you want me to put millions of dollars in your pocket? Get the fuck out of here. I wouldn't.
No. Listen, I like Canelo.
Andrade is not known, not a popular fighter, and then you add on top of that, his resume is dog shit. Some of it not, a lot of it not due to his fault. But my point is, this guy has no incentive to fight him.
No, like I said, listen, Andre, part of it is his fault. You know what I'm saying? He's done some. He's made some career moves that, have not been good. So I understand that aspect of it. But at the same time, like I said, Eddie Hearn is not delivering these fights. Come on, man. Like the Kambosos. Look, if you look at it, if you look at it, Kambosos and Haney should have been a done deal. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what's up with
but
that.
The problem is Eddie Hearn and DAZN, they're not backing up Devin Haney. DAZN rather back up Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying?
But see, I'm glad you said that. People associate DAZN and Eddie Hearn as one. That's not the case. They're not the same.
Eddie Hearn, you got to understand.
Same way ESPN and Top Rank are not the same company. DAZN and Eddie Hearn are not the same company.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is that when DAZN decided to come and open doors here in the U.S., Eddie Hearn was the one running his mouth, and he was like the face of DAZN. They allowed him to be their representation. You know what I'm saying?
When in reality, when he came out, he started good. he started good. The Zone was giving me some good fights, man.
Yeah, but they didn't sign nobody. Who did he was talking about? Oh, we're gonna have to sign everybody. People gonna be shaking in their boots. Showtime going out of business. Pay-per-view is dead.
You
You
did
can't
say
be coming
pay-per-view is
into
dead. I
people's
ain't hear all that other
backyards.
extra shit you was saying.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be coming into people's backyards acting so damn arrogant and then just get shit on like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I just wish like he's always trying to get other network fighters to work with him, and he doesn't understand the landscape of US boxing and how pretty much these promoters don't work with other ones unless you giving them the fighter like, all right, your fighter has to come to Showtime, your fighter has to come to ESPN. That's how it works here in America. He ain't get it. The fuck, you at a dentist's office or some shit?
This is my office. It's just I just got in. I just got in.
All right. I'm like, what the fuck this motherfucker doing? Errands or while talking to me?
No, I'm just coming into work right now. I'm just coming in right now. I just got in right now.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry, I got out the car. I got out the car.
But getting back to the Devin Haney situation, I think him getting paid so much is a blessing and a curse. Because it's a blessing, obviously, who wouldn't want all that money? But then it's a curse in the sense, like, yo, this dude, nobody like Cambosos. I think he just wants to get paid more because he feels like, hey, I have more belts. How the fuck? Or just because you have a deal with the Zone, I can't get paid more than you. That doesn't make sense to me. I think that's why he wants to make the fight in Australia. He goes, anybody who wants to fight for these belts has to fight me in Australia.
Listen, I respect the fact that Lou DiBella and what is it? Peter Khan is his manager, Cambosos' manager.
Yeah.
And Cambosos, listen, they have the right to try to get as much money as they can. I respect that. I'm not against that. But my issue is when you try to, almost shit on Devin Haney, like, oh, he don't really want to fight. Yeah, he wants to fight.
He wants to fight, but
he's not getting the backing. Like I said, he's not being backed by the Zone to get the fight, and Eddie Hearn is just not making the fight. You know, I mean, he's not able to deliver the fight. But it's almost like a smear campaign saying like, oh, Haney don't really want to fight. Nah, motherfucker, if you want to fight Lomachenko, just fight him. Just make the decision, and that's it. All this back and forth and all this is bullshit. It's just nonsense. It kind of gets annoying after a while. But we'll see.
Yeah. James Rushton, that's the CEO of the Zone. That's who the fuck we should be attacking. I googled CEO of the Zone is James Rushton. That's who the fuck we need to get.
But the person with the money was Len Blafnik or whatever his name is.
He's an investor who just fucking wiped out their debt.
Exactly, and they losing billions of dollars. They need to get the fuck out of here.
They need to get out of here. They ruining the whole American landscape. If it's just ESPN and Showtime, I'll be okay because in my mindset, it'll be all right. HBO went out of business. Well, they didn't go out of business. They went out of the boxing business, but instead of HBO, now it's Showtime and ESPN. But this whole the Zone variable that they fucking got going on, like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, to be honest with you. And also, like, some of these big fights, right? Let's say you got a friend who's a casual. Oh, man, there's this fight this Saturday. I'm super excited for it. Yo, what channel is it on? Oh, this is at. You have to download it. You have to subscribe. You have to, it's $20 a month or whatever. It's this much for the year. And most casual fans go, get the fuck out of here, man. Listen, if it was on ESPN for free, I'll watch it that way. And American fans, we're already used to buying the pay-per-view model. I do think PBC is getting a little crazy with putting fucking Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin on pay-per-view. But my point is that we're already somewhat used to it, especially for big fights.
But, I mean, yeah, if you do a decent price and you put a decent undercard.
No price. Fuck that, man. Fuck price, man. Give it to me for free. For free. That's what ESPN giving me. Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez was for free. Teofimo versus Lomachenko was for free. Give me that shit. Give me that shit. Don't give me no fucking bullshit. Fucking
Yeah,
Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin as a main event on a pay-per-view. Keith Thurman coming off a loss and a 2-3 year layoff to fight another motherfucker coming off a loss to a guy who was in a weight division below him on a pay-per-view. Get the fuck out of here, man. Nah, man. I don't give a fuck if it's $4. Give me that shit for free. Why ESPN giving me free shit? And PBC want to charge me. And I like PBC because they signing a lot of Dominican fighters. And they do well by the fighters. But they're not doing well by the fans. Anytime they give us bullshit on pay-per-view. You haven't heard me complain not once about Spence Ugas being on pay-per-view. Because that is a pay-per-view worthy fight. And they're giving us a good undercard. But when you giving us fucking bullshit on pay-per-view, I'm going to speak up for it. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to be the one speaking up. That's some bullshit, man. And us boxing fans, we're the working class. The boxing fan is a working class. We're not Wall Street motherfuckers. We're not engineers. We're not doctors. We're fucking bus boys, waiters, construction workers, cops, firemen. Those are the boxing fans. Those are the ones that you're charging a pay-per-view. You're not charging some motherfucker in a mansion a pay-per-view. My bad. That shit turns me up. As you see.
No, I understand. Like I said, I understand, but it is what it is. I don't agree that a lot of these fights should be on pay-per-view. But listen, if they're on pay-per-view, and I just don't fucking buy it. It's simple as that.
I just go to a friend's house. You know what I'm saying? For the one.
I just don't buy it, and that's it.
Listen, I understand, but as a person who's covering the sport and is a fan, I'm gonna get upset. Like, listen, I have no problem. I'm gonna pay for the Spence fight. I'm not gonna illegally stream. I'm not gonna go to a friend's house. I'm going to pay my hard-earned money for that Spence Ugas fight because I feel it's worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
That's a good fight. It's a competitive fight. I'm giving Ugas a lot better chance than most people are. Most people think, oh, this is gonna be an easy fight for Errol. Okay.
Now Ugas is a real one, man. Ugas very talented. He's very talented. He's very technical. And he's a solid fighter. He's a very good fighter. He's a big dude. He's not small. So it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be a very good fight. It's gonna tell us a lot where Spence, if he healed from his injury or not. Because he's gonna be getting hit. He's gonna be getting hit,
No, and especially if you saw the Pacquiao fight, although to be fair, Errol's a lot taller than Pacquiao. But needless to say, Ugas, what really won him that fight was that jab. And this guy's
jab. He kept hitting him with the jab. He kept countering with that jab. He was just Pacquiao couldn't get past that.
So if Ugas could have similar type success against Spence, and he gets that eye, who knows? I don't know. Maybe who knows how it recovered, or maybe it's recovered, but only to a certain degree, and it's more susceptible to getting hurt in the middle of the fight. You could be winning a fight, but if in the 5th round you can't see out of your right or left eye, well, I don't remember which eye it was. That's gonna hinder you severely.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's gonna be a very good fight. I'm excited for it. But yeah, man, there's a lot of good fights coming. And another thing I wanted to talk about was you spoke about the Castano versus Charlo. Look,
yeah,
the WBO needs to just get the fuck out the way. Just get the fuck out the way. Let the fight happen, and we need that fight for Undisputed. It was a very, very good fight. It's a close fight. I personally had it a draw. I thought it was a draw. It was some of the judges scored it that way.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great fight.
Fantastic fight.
It's definitely a 50-50 fight. We got to see it. Just move out of the fucking way. Let Castano heal and just look. The
thing
mandatory
is Tim Tszyu.
But Tim could fucking wait. Tim could wait. Tim could fucking wait. He's no fucking. He's talented. He's talented. He's up and coming. And he's more known because we know that his father was this shit. Right now, obviously, he's gonna build his own legacy. He has his own talents. I'm not disputing that. But bro, you could fucking wait. You know what I'm saying? If you waited this long, you could wait a few more months and get a shot at 4 belts. You know what I'm saying? So on his first title contention, you could go for Undisputed. You know what I'm saying? So just fucking wait.
Nah, but then Charlo fucking move up afterwards. You never know. Like
All right,
he's
okay, if Charlo moves up and those belts are vacant, then he'll fight for a vacant belt.
and then when people
Motherfuckers
be
do it
like,
all the
yeah, but
time.
then when he calls himself a world champion, people gonna be like, yeah, but you want a vacant belt. That's what
No,
people.
but you
That's what
gotta,
people do to Shakur.
no, but what you gotta understand is, okay. So let's say Charlo moves up, right? Let's say Charlo moves up, and those belts become vacant. You have Errol Spence is going to be moving up soon because you know Errol Spence is going to fight. He's going to fight Ugas, and then he's going to try to make the Terence Crawford fight. If that fight don't happen, he's moving up, right? Crawford's talking about, oh, if I don't get the Errol Spence, I'm going to be moving up, right? So you have guys that are in that weight that are legit fighters that he could fight. You know, Castano's a fucking beast, right? Castano's a beast. Or whoever wins, let's say Castano wins, right?
Yeah.
You know, he might defend it. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends. It all depends. You know, Tim Zook will fucking wait.
But it's not only the WBO, the IBF also has had their mandatory weight in idle for a bit.
Who the fucking the guy that nobody fucking knows from Russia?
I listen. That I have no idea that guy. I don't know
some
that
dude
guy
from
joined
Russia.
the war.
Jake,
I don't know. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. But
dude,
also
nobody fucking knows who he is.
The WBC ordered from Fora versus Lubin, and that fight's happening April.
They're fighting. Yeah, they're fighting soon. So Fondora versus Lubin. Fine. Motherfuckers go wait.
Listen. I'm with you. I want to see this fight. Now, as you know, like that was one. It was a fantastic fight in the ring, and that draw left me unsatisfied. I'll be honest with you. I thought Castano won. I thought Charlo was a little bit too inactive, and that cost him the fight. I felt like if he was more active, I feel like he could have knocked out Castano. To be honest with
you, I think that if you know, because
every time he opened up, he hurt him. Every time he opened up, he hurt Castano.
He was fighting on his back foot. He was going backwards. He was being a counterpuncher.
Yeah.
The times that he stood in the middle of the ring and pushed a little forward, he was having good success. So I think that in this particular fight, I think it'll be similar how he came out versus Harrison, where the first fight he fought more defensively and he lost, but then he fucking came forward and knocked him out. I think it's going to be the same thing in the second fight. I think he comes forward, he pushes Castano back because Castano is not a fighter that fights backwards. He fights coming forward, pressure fighter with obviously very good pressure in terms of boxing and dodging and very good defense. But the times that I saw Charlo was in the middle of the ring with him, he was catching him and he pushed him back. He was having success. So I think it's going to be a very good fight. The sanctioning body's got to get out of the way and just let that fight happen.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm here with you. I want to see the fight. As you know, that's what I've been talking about. That's what I was talking about before you hopped on.
Yeah. No, I was listening.
Oh, hold on. This was the WBO president Paco Vaca said. He just tweeted the WBO is considering not to sanction world titles and regional bouts in Russia and not including Russian boxers in its rankings as long as the invasion of Ukraine lasts.
Good.
Whoa, that is huge news.
Good. The IBF should do the same thing. No Russians get a fight or title in the US till y'all fucking stop that nonsense.
But I mean, I don't even know if I agree with that. Like, I understand not sanctioning in Russia, but how you gonna punish the fighters themselves? The fighters are not doing the invasion.
It's your country.
Look. This is what Jake Donovan tweeted to that. He goes, "I understand not sanctioning fights taking place in Russia during this invasion." And then he writes, "Not saying I agree, but I understand the thought process. I am, however, 100% dead set against removing any fighter from rankings based on ethnicity." That's how I feel. That's weird. So you telling me
what's funny about this? You know what's funny about this? That when very recently there was a tweet of me and Jake, and Jake was like, but so and so is the mandatory for the IBF. And I was like, who? And he said the name of some Russian guy. And I was like, he can't get no title shot to Pooh and stop that nonsense. I'm fucking sending you the tweet.
By the way, hold on. Breaking news. Listen, there's a lot of breaking news today. Well, take this with a grain of salt because it's Mike Compinger reporting. But, you know, he is sometimes right.
Sometimes
sources, Canelo Alvarez and Dimitri Bivol have finalized a deal for May 7th fight for Bivol's light heavyweight title. An announcement is imminent for the DAZN pay-per-view. It's a 2-fight deal for Canelo with Matchroom. Story coming to ESPN. So apparently this is going to be DAZN's first pay-per-view, and it's going to be Canelo versus Dimitri Bivol. These motherfuckers want to flop. Who the fuck knows who Bivol is?
Look, I like Canelo.
Oh, better be he's Russian, isn't he?
Yeah. And he's Russian, yeah.
He's IBF WBC, and there's rumors that he's gonna fight Joe Smith for the WBO, and the WBO.
Yeah.
Says so. How's that gonna happen?
I don't know. Strip him.
Fuck. But yo,
but here's the thing. Mike Compinger. I mean, he said the same thing a few weeks ago, and Canelo told him it was.
No, but this time he says it's finalized. So meaning, you know, things are signed, sealed, delivered. And
here's the thing, man. Bivol's a good fighter, but he's fucking boring, right?
Yeah.
I agree. He's in the same. In my opinion, he's a good fighter, but he's in the same category as the fighter those European fighters that Canelo has been fighting, you know. So it's like, yes, it's a good fight. It's a challenge for Canelo because he's moving up to 175 versus a younger guy who has power. But Bivol, in my opinion, is one-dimensional. You know, I want something more fucking exciting. I want to see Canelo.
Man, I wanted Charlo, man. Charlo, listen, you want to sell pay-per-views? Fight Americans. Don't fight motherfuckers who don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Who don't speak English, have no personality. Yo, this dude fought in Russia in his last fight, right? Not only did he fight in Russia, fucking 1,000 people showed up in his home country. 1,000.
Nobody gives a fuck about this guy.
Not even his own countrymen give a fuck about him. You think
so it's like listen, I like I said, listen, Canelo can do whatever the fuck he wants. Whatever. It is what it is. Because, you know, he's calling the shots, whatever it is. But, like, this fight, depending what they're going to try to charge, I might not watch it, to be honest. And I like Canelo. I like Canelo. I love watching a fight, you know. But depending how much they're trying to charge for this fight, I might not watch it.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna add on to Mike Compinger. By the way, you might not watch it. You can't just go to a friend's house.
I'm not gonna pay for it. Let's say that.
All right. Mike Compinger says Gennady Golovkin is finalizing his deal for the Canelo Alvarez trilogy fight on September 17th. That fight will take place on DAZN pay-per-view again. I'm canceling my DAZN shit, by the way. On DAZN pay-per-view for Alvarez's undisputed 168-pound championship, as long as Triple G defeats Ryota Murata in April and Canelo beats Bivol. But the thing is, Triple G and Ryota Murata, that shit is not signed, sealed, and delivered.
Dude, Triple G, I don't even want to get into it. But
no, but my thing is, how is it a 2-fight deal?
It's a 2-fight deal.
Pending Triple G beats Murata when that fight hasn't happened because everything is closed up due to the pandemic in Japan. They're not allowing
Triple G will skip that fight and just fight Canelo.
No, but that's not what the tweet says. It says
yeah, but you know how it is. It's DAZN. They've been asking for that fight since that's the reason why that's how they got Triple G to sign with DAZN. Remember that.
Yeah.
They promised him that Canelo fight. And ever since he's been cherry picking, you know, he's been cherry picking. So.
Yeah, he's been very inactive. I don't know, man. I mean, I would. I don't mind the Murata fight, to be honest with you. I don't mind. It's just like, how the fuck are we?
Yeah, but Triple G could have been fighting. He could have fought Munguia when he was out for the Munguia fight by Golden Boy. He didn't want that smoke. Then he could have unified with Andrade. You know, while he's waiting around for fucking Murata for Japan to open up, he could have unified with Charlo. So I don't want his shit. Fuck Triple G. Fuck Triple G. Straight fuck Triple G. Honestly, I want Canelo to send that motherfucker to hell. Canelo's gonna beat the shit out of him. It's not gonna be competitive. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna be competitive. Canelo's gonna get him out of there between 5 and 7 rounds, and I'm willing to bet money on that.
Yo, hold on. People are I'm going kind of not viral, but motherfuckers talking shit about me on Twitter. So on a Twitter space, I had made the argument that Manny Pacquiao all time, I'm talking about ranking all time, is better than Thomas Hearns.
I caught the beginning of that conversation. That was last night. I caught the beginning of the conversation. Yeah. I know you guys were talking about. I know he said Ray Leonard. I think the second person he mentioned was.
I'm not saying Manny Pacquiao is better than Ray Leonard.
No. I'm saying, but you guys were going down the list, and I remember they mentioned Ray Leonard, and then the second person I think they mentioned was
Duran, and then
Duran. But I didn't. Then after that, I hopped off, so I missed the rest.
So, but what they really got mad at me was because right now that's what they're talking about on Twitter, and I gotta hop off soon because I gotta go to work. I said that if you're ranking all time, I think Thomas Hearns isn't better than Manny Pacquiao, and Ring Magazine just came out with a top 100 fighters of all time, and guess what? Thomas Hearns was ranked number 35, and Manny Pacquiao was ranked number 9. Thomas Hearns,
you gotta understand, it's Ring Magazine, bro. There's a bunch of fucking races over there. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I don't fuck with Ring Magazine.
Cliff Road wrote the article. The guy he'd been on Chicken Talk every now and then.
Cliff, yeah, I think I've heard. I gotta look. Yeah, but it's Ring Magazine, bro. They I don't fuck with Ring Magazine.
Right, let's do this. Not only does Manny Pacquiao have more weight divisions championships, he has more lineal weight divisions than him. He has more Fighter of the Year awards. He also was Fighter of the Decade, which Thomas Hearns was never Fighter of the Decade.
Yeah, but who was Manny Pacquiao? Or who was Manny Pacquiao Fighter of the Decade over Mayweather? You get what I'm saying? You got to look.
He was, that decade, he was better than that in that decade.
Nobody was better than Mayweather in the last 20 decades. In the last 20 years.
Nah. Well, he won more Fighter of the Year awards in the 2000s than Mayweather did.
Yeah, but it's all politics.
Whoa! Mayweather took a lot of gaps in between. That's why he didn't win Fighter. He won Fighter of the Year the 2010s.
Listen, yeah, man. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of politics. I don't.
Look. If we're going down resume, what's his name? He got his 2 best wins are he beat Pepino Cuevas and Wilfred Benitez. Those are his 2 best wins. What's his name? Thomas Hearns, which are 2 specifically the Benitez win is very impressive. Manny Pacquiao beat the shit out of Marco Antonio Barrera, beat Morales twice, beat Marquez twice, knocked out fucking Ricky Hand out cold, beat the shit out of fucking Cotto.
Hand was. I mean, Mayweather had already beaten Hand. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, come on, man. You always do that. When a motherfucker loses, it's like, oh, anybody who beats him afterwards, it's
no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Ricky Hand was good, but he was like a fucking. It's the same shit with these British fighters. They're very good over there. But when they come over here, they get their ass whooped.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it's the truth though. They're good over there, but they come over here to get their ass whooped.
Manny Pacquiao is the only boxer in history to hold a world title in 4 decades, bro, and he's also the only boxer in history to hold a title in 4 decades of age, meaning his 20s, 30s, whatever. He won his teens. Hold on, denarian, his Viserian, Tricerian, and quadrenarian. The oldest welterweight champion in history. Like, the dude has way too many records. Way too many records.
No, listen, like I said, Pacquiao's a living legend. He's a legend, I respect him.
No,
I don't want to get into. I don't like comparing. You know what it is? I really don't like comparing because I don't. You got to understand that when I came to this country, I didn't watch those guys. You know what I'm saying? I was in DR running around barefoot, my dude. I was in fucking watching boxing. You know what I'm saying?
No. But I'm saying if
when
you
I
rank
moved here, like the guys that I started watching, I started watching boxing, with Mike Tyson, when I came here, because I remember I moved here in 94, right? April of 94. So, Mike Tyson was big then. De La Hoya was up and coming, all those guys, so those who I started watching. So I don't like to really go back to comparing the guys that were like before that era, because I really don't know. I mean, yes, I know they were very good.
Well,
And I watched some of their fights, but I'm not a fucking boxing historian. Like I follow currently. And in the future, you know what I'm saying? Like in the future, I'll know more about this era because obviously I'm following it. But like back then, before the 94s, I mean, obviously you go back and you watch fights, you read and all these things, but I'm not like a fucking boxing historian.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't call myself a historian. I think that would be overselling myself. But I'm definitely a history buff. Like I know a lot of factoids, and I like to do my research. And again, Manny Pacquiao holds records. Thomas Hearns doesn't. That's just a fact of life, whether we want to admit it or not. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell me the guy has the most championships in each weight division, and then people go, oh yeah, but some of those belts were fake. Okay, let's go lineal. Fuck it. He has the most lineal weight division championships, and he was fighter of the decade in the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta get Manny Pacquiao is gonna be respected. His legacy is gonna be way more respected in 20, 30 years. That's when people are gonna realize. People romanticize the past. Oh, back in the day, and it's like, nah, motherfucker, like that wouldn't have happened. But
remember something you said earlier when I was on. I mean, you said something like about fighters this year not as active as before, and it's true. I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? So yes, people do look at the past and romanticize on it, but at the same time, a lot of the shit is true because, for example, there was a year, and you can go back and look at it. I think it was 96 or 97. De La Hoya fought like 6 fucking times.
No, I agree.
It was like between a 12-month period. I think he had like 5 or 6 fights for sure. So it's like, yeah, things were different back then. So that's why a lot of time people say like, nah, man, it was different. Like, for example, I personally, I don't watch basketball anymore. I don't watch the NBA anymore. Right?
I only watch the Knicks, so that's why I be stressed. That's why I be yelling on here sometimes.
You like to suffer.
I do, apparently.
Listen, I don't watch basketball anymore, right? But growing up, in the 90s and in the 90s and in the early 2000s, the years that I did watch it, right? I noticed the league, in my opinion, and I'm not talking about like, oh, these dudes are soft. No, the league got soft, right? Because if you watch basketball,
the rules change.
The rules, that's what I'm saying. The league got soft. If you look at the way the game was played in the 90s, these motherfuckers was physical, right? They were physical. If you drove to the basket, they were trying to knock your head off. Every team had a player that was trying to knock. He was an enforcer. He was there to knock you on your ass, right? So now it's like, oh, flagrant this, flagrant that. I don't even want. I mean, that's not the only reason why I don't watch it, but yeah, it's not the same. This is why I would never compare. A lot of people say, "Oh,
No, but when I say compare, I don't mean like how they would have fought in the ring. That's not the argument. I'm talking about
no. I'm just saying, but I think this all plays into why people think like, no, this person was not better than this person back then. You get what I'm saying? I think it plays into it because, like I said, I was gonna give the example of like MJ and LeBron. How people say, oh, MJ's the GOAT.
You're saying it was a total different era, so it was different.
It's completely different eras. It's completely, completely like the rules have changed. The rules of the game have changed in terms of like, I'm talking about the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So it's like LeBron is a great player. I think he's a great player. He's very talented. Generational player. But in my opinion, I think MJ is the GOAT just because like the rules were different. The game was more physical. And, in my opinion, certain things I think Jordan was just more accomplished and was just better at, whatever. But, not something I want to get into. But yeah, man, it's I think the same thing happens with boxing where, it's just different eras, and people, like you said, romanticize with the past. So, I don't even like to a lot of times argue into those points.
No, I get you. Yo, Ari, thanks so much for coming on. I gotta go to work, but I appreciate you. You always give, we always you always bring the angry out of me. Not necessarily that you piss me off, but you make me think of shit and fucking. So I start flipping with these pay-per-views. But I appreciate you coming on, man.
No, man, listen, you got to look. As long as you could have a conversation, about these things, because I think that's what the sport should be about, at least for fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point of like hitting anybody, whatever. But like, if you could have a conversation with somebody, a constructive conversation. I like listening to people's different point of views and boxing.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I always have the link pinned to the top of the chat for whoever wants to call in. But shout out to you, man. Shout out. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. We'll talk soon.
Tato, mi hermano.
No hablamos.
All right, guys. Shout out to you. Hit that like button on your way out. If you haven't subscribed, also subscribe. Do that. Definitely do that. Do that before you hit the like button. Then hit the like button. I've been watching boxing since the early 70s. Manny Pacquiao is one of the all-time best. All right, thank you. And Dave Martinez, for people who don't know, he's an older guy. He actually saw Muhammad Ali fought and all that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying Thomas Hearns is a bum. I'm not saying Thomas Hearns is not a Hall of Famer, shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I never said that. What I'm saying is Manny Pacquiao has more accomplishments and should be ranked higher when it comes to all-time rankings. But all right, guys, that's my video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to be on, man. I'm going to be a lot more active. I haven't been as active as I wanted to. As some of you guys know, my lady is pregnant. So we had the baby shower. She wanted to go away. So we went away. We just went away to Atlantic City. We didn't do like not much. So we did a lot of stuff like that. So I've been real busy. So I haven't been uploading videos as much as I want to. But as you guys know, I'm very active. I like to keep you guys informed. Now, after a lot has happened, I'm going to have a lot more free time now up until the baby comes. But yes, so I'm going to feed you guys more content. Just, thank you guys for being so patient with me, not unsubscribing, because I actually have had some people unsubscribe. I guess I'm not bringing out enough content. But again, I'm explaining why I haven't. I got a fucking pregnant lady with me, my baby. And, I'm about to be a father soon. So shout out to y'all for staying through all the way to the end. Until next time, peace.